Deep within the silent deserts of Ras Al Khaimah stands a palace unlike any other, a masterpiece of architecture adorned with golden chandeliers, intricate Arabian designs, and walls that once echoed with laughter, but today, only silence and whispers remain. For years, the Al-Qasimi Palace has remained abandoned, a ghostly monument to an untold horror. No one knows why the royal family left just a day after moving in, but the locals believe they were not alone. Something else was already there, lurking in the shadows, waiting. It was supposed to be a night of celebration. The palace was finally complete, and the royal family had arrived to spend their first night in their new home. Servants bustled through the marble halls, ensuring everything was perfect. The air smelled of fresh roses, and the golden chandeliers reflected the soft glow of candlelight. But as the night deepened, something changed. The warmth of the palace turned to an unsettling chill. One by one, the candles flickered and went out. The servants whispered among themselves. Something felt wrong. Then came the sound, a distant rhythmic knocking from the upper floors. A young maid, Fatima, was the first to notice something strange. As she walked past a large mirror, she stopped. Her reflection was not alone. Behind her, standing just inches away, was a woman dressed in white. But there was no one else in the room. Frozen in fear, Fatima turned around, only to find emptiness. Yet, when she looked back at the mirror, the woman was still there, staring at her, a sinister grin stretching across her pale face. She screamed. The sound echoed through the palace, shattering the night's silence. Servants rushed to her aid, but she could barely speak, her face as white as a ghost. The celebration had turned into a night of dread. As the night progressed, the horrors only grew. The royal children had been gifted an exquisite set of porcelain dolls, each with delicate features and lifelike eyes. But when their nanny entered their room, she saw something horrifying. Every single doll had turned its head toward the door, as if they were watching her. She rushed to gather the children, but before she could move, one of the dolls blinked. A chilling giggle filled the room, though no child had spoken. The nanny, unable to contain her fear, grabbed the children and fled the room. The dolls remained, smiling in the darkness. The palace guards were called upon to investigate the strange occurrences. Armed with lanterns, they moved cautiously through the endless corridors. One guard, Ibrahim, swore he saw movement, a shadow dashing past a doorway. He raised his lantern, but the room was empty. Then a whisper. It came from right beside his ear. "Leave now." He spun around, heart pounding, but there was no one there. Instead, his own shadow had stretched unnaturally across the wall, bending, twisting, reaching for him. That was enough. Ibrahim dropped his lantern and ran. By morning, he had quit his post and left Ras Al Khaimah forever. By dawn, the royal family could take no more. The once magnificent palace had become a prison of terror. The whispers, the figures in the mirrors, the moving dolls, they had seen enough. In a frantic rush, they packed their belongings and fled, leaving behind a palace that had taken years to build, and they never returned. The servants, the guards, even the builders, none would speak of what had happened that night. Some say the family was cursed. Others believe they had disturbed something ancient, something that never wanted them there in the first place. Decades have passed, yet the Al-Qasimi Palace remains untouched, an abandoned relic of a forgotten nightmare. Urban explorers who dare step inside report eerie sounds, unexplained shadows, and the feeling of being watched. Some say the palace is cursed. Others believe the spirits of its former inhabitants still roam its halls, waiting for their next victim. Even now, if you stand outside on a quiet night, you might hear it, the distant laughter of children, the whispers of unseen voices, and the eerie glow of a single candle in the highest window. The Al-Qasimi Palace is not for the faint of heart. Those who enter may not leave the same. So tell me, would you dare step inside, or is it best to leave the ghosts of Ras Al Khaimah undisturbed? Let me know in the comments below if you think the palace is truly haunted. And if you enjoy tales of horror and the unknown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more terrifying stories, if you dare.